Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Autumn and this vlog is going to be the second week of NaNoWriMo. So we're already starting this week off on the Thursday. I want to catch you guys up with what I have been doing for the first half of the week. I just want to talk about Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Oh, my camera battery's about to die. I have returned 20 minutes later. My cat decided to have a little party in his litter box and litter was everywhere. Every time I clean his litter box and make it all nice and neat, he loves to play in it. That happened and then they started leaf blowing. Here we are 20 minutes later. I worked the first 3 days of this week. I already talked about Sunday. Monday, I did not write anything. On Tuesday, I was able to spare a little bit of time. I think about 30 minutes I wrote during my lunch break at work. So that was the 8th. And for that little short writing sprint, I ended up writing 941 words. So I'm starting this vlog with a total word count of 12,025 words. And I'm really pleased with that. Before I go into the rest of the video, let me also just say that on the days that I work, I'm not forcing myself to write a little bit or to write a lot or to write the NaNoWriMo's recommended 1,667 words. I don't want to put that kind of pressure on myself because I know if I do that, I'm gonna get burnt out. So I'm doing what I can when I can during the days that I work. I've been really trying to stay on schedule. I've been really trying to stay a little bit ahead because I know we have holidays and work, we as in me. I have a friend coming to visit the second half of this week and the beginning half of next week. I am trying to stay on track with all of that and do as much as I can now so when the second half of the month comes, I'm not so far behind. But with all of that being said, if you follow NaNoWriMo's daily recommended 1,667 words, if you write that every day, you will end the month with 50,000 words. If you follow that, today I need 1,726 words in order to stay on track or to like catch up, I guess. I want to at least get that today. I would like to write about 2,000 words today in order to stay on track, but we'll just see what ends up happening for today. I have a lot of video editing that I need to do. I want to finish editing my second plotting vlog as well as the first NaNoWriMo vlog. I have the first 7 chapters written. I have about 2,000 to 3,000 more words of Act 1 before I get into Act 2. I've established most, if not all, of the Act 1 characters. I have already talked about the inciting incident. My characters are at a great place to go ahead and slowly introduce them into Act 2. There's a couple of things left of Act 1 that I want to establish before we move on to Act 2. A few little plot things need to be established before I can move into Act 2. I want to make sure I can get all of that done, but I know by the end of the week we'll be into Act 2. When I outlined this story, I didn't spend a lot of time working on the world building and the magic because that was stuff that I knew I needed to discovery draft as I was working through the story and actually writing the first draft. So that definitely took a back seat with my whole plotting process, and I don't regret that. I have been having a lot of fun discovering the world and how the magic works in this world. While it's definitely gonna have to be fleshed out and reworked and all of that fun stuff in revisions, I've been having a lot of fun discovering it. I have realized that while this world is going to be pretty simple, it's still interesting. And when I was originally plotting out this story, I wanted to do a minimum amount of world building. I still support that to this day. I think that was a great decision. But with my characters having to travel through the world because they're a little group of musicians and they travel from place to place, it probably would have been in my best interest to have an idea of how long it took them to get to certain places and destinations, but really I don't think that's necessary at this point in time, but that is something I've noted with this first act. They were leaving one small village to get to another one and they're already heading somewhere else. And the place that they're heading to is a big significant place in the story, but they're going to be hitting a couple more towns throughout the way. So I feel like I could have plotted that out a little bit better, but I'm really not that worried about it. That's all I have for this really long update. I will check in throughout the vlog, but I hope you enjoy it. Y'all, do you see this? Do you see how dark it is outside? I have not written at all today. That's a major problem, considering probably for the next 4 to 6 days I am not gonna get words in, or there's gonna be few and far between, or not as many. I really need to get words in. I finished the one video that I wanted to get finished. I'm halfway through editing the other video, which is the first week of NaNoWriMo. Halfway through that video is not gonna take me quite as long. It's really not even 6. I'm so dramatic. I'm actually really proud that it did not take me nearly as long to edit that one video plus another video. It didn't take me quite as long as it normally does. I just don't like spending my entire day sitting in one spot editing, but alas, that is what I have done today. Well, hopefully in this next update I can have words to talk to you guys about, counts to talk to you guys about. My characters have moved through the story. Hopefully in my next update it will be more writing related. Here's to writing some words at some point today. And plus they have to be soon, because I keep forgetting I have a book club meeting at 8 p.m. tonight about a book I read a month and a half ago. And I'm a little nervous that I have forgotten everything about that book because it's been so long and I've read several books in between now and then. We're just gonna roll with it. That's all we can do. Right, kiddo? That's all we can do? We just roll with it? We never actually ended up having our book club meeting. One of the girls never responded, so I guess we're gonna have to postpone that again. But anyways, I did end up getting a writing sprint in. I wrote 789 words and I started chapter 8. And this is the chapter right before Act 2. My characters are having one final discussion about that inciting incident. Is this something we wanna do? Which ultimately they are gonna do it because that's the story. I am gonna do another writing session for about another hour. Hopefully I can get about 1,000 words written. That would be ideal. I really like how this story is going, and I'm really excited to get to Act 2 because there are a lot of characters in Act 2 that I'm excited to introduce and explore a couple of romance subplots. Final update, I ended up writing a little over 2,100 words for about a 45-ish minute sprint. I finished chapter 8, which means I am officially in Act 2. They're not exactly at the point, like traveling wise, where I want them to be. They still have a little bit more traveling to go. I figured I would make that part of Act 2, but I really like how my characters have ended in Act 1. They met with their mentor one last time before they're gonna be sent on their way to do all their fun bard stuff. I'm having a good time. I'm glad I was able to actually sit down and write a little bit today. The actual word count, as in like the total for today, it was pretty chunky, and that chapter was pretty chunky too. My manuscript so far is at 14,177 words, and that's exactly where I need to be to start Act 2. So I will catch you guys in the morning. Traffic was a lot busier than I thought it was going to be. It was a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be. I am walking into the airport now to get Sarah. I didn't have a chance to vlog anything else because time just slipped away from me. Her plane was like 10 minutes early, so I was like jetting to the airport to go get her. I'm about to see her in like 5 minutes. Super stoked.
Is it was here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Or you could play.
Oh, I think.
Oh, now?
Yeah, there you go.
That was cute.
That was fast. I missed it.
It's upside down.
It is upside down. I'm here to wrap up what I did on November 10th. I ended up writing 1,303 words. I worked on chapter 9, and chapter 9 is the last chapter in Act 1. I am officially into Act 2. I haven't done any work into Act 2 yet, but I have wrapped up and moved on to Act 2. My characters are set up to propel themselves into the rest of the story. I think in Act 1, I have done a decent amount of work on building up my characters, building up their relationships with each other, and I think we're starting to see where the issues are and how the characters are very different, even though they're all on this journey together. We are well established into that main plot. We have 2 or 3 other subplots that have been introduced. I don't think I've introduced one of them yet. I have to go back and check. I am excited to get into and to start exploring the world and the characters and start introducing my Act 2 characters. My Act 1 characters are going to be so much different than my Act 2 characters. In total, I have 15,463 words for the entire manuscript. I am really pleased with the progress that I have been making. Considering I work full-time, I had an event this weekend, and a few other just life things that have happened that I feel like have set my writing back a little bit. I feel like I'm doing a really solid job trying to prioritize my writing a lot more and really trying to work towards hitting the 50,000 words. We are gonna go ahead and close out week 2 of NaNoWriMo as I sit here and wait for my Thai food to be delivered. So week 2 was not productive. I fully expected it to be one of my slower weeks. I was okay with that. If you follow me over on Instagram, you know that I met one of my writing friends. I knew that meeting her and all of the things that we were going to be going off and doing was going to take away from writing. I just knew that was gonna happen. But I did my best, and while I know that there were probably times where I could have gotten a few more writing sprints in, or I could have stayed up or gotten up earlier to get words in, that didn't happen. I just enjoyed my time. So this week definitely wasn't as productive as the first week. I totally 100% went into NaNoWriMo expecting to fall behind and expecting not really to win. I just knew that there was a lot that was going to be going on, and especially with week 2, I was not expecting to get much done. While I am trying really hard to stay on schedule and try and win nano, or at least get a half nano, I am enjoying the process, and the writing sprints that I have been able to get in, I've been enjoying that process. I have been enjoying my writing sessions, even if they have been few and far between, but it is what it is. This was just a busier week for me. Hopefully week 3 I'll be able to catch up. Maybe I'll be able to get a little ahead, or at least stay on track. But week 2 was definitely not as productive as week 1. but that's okay. But I hope you guys have been enjoying my content and my NaNoWriMo vlogs. I've been working really hard on them, trying to keep them short and snappy. That is going to be everything for week 2. I hope that you are doing well with the NaNoWriMo. So far, I am behind, but it's okay. So that'll be it for this video. I want to thank everybody so much for watching, and if you're not part of my writing journey, I would absolutely love to have you here. I am Autumn Ashley, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.